Have you ever noticed that you're the one people come to when they need to talk? The person they lean on? But then, when it's your turn, when you need support, it feels like that street only goes one way. Well, today we're going to gently unpack that feeling because there's a very real dynamic at play here.
So this is really the heart of it, isn't it? If this question hits home for you, just know you are definitely not alone. It's such a strange and sometimes lonely place to be. You're a safe harbor for everyone else, but you feel like your own ship has nowhere to dock. Let's try to put a name to what's happening.
Okay, so let's get into the psychology of this, because what's so interesting is that it often has very little to do with someone being intentionally selfish. It's more about this invisible, almost gravitational force that exists in our relationships.
And here is the single most important idea to grasp. Just think about it like a current in the water. Emotional energy, and support along with it, just naturally flows toward whoever seems the most stable, the most grounded. It's often an unconscious, one-way pull. And because you're perceived as that stable person, you get cast in a very specific role, whether you auditioned for it or not. You become what we could call an emotional anchor. You don't apply for this job. It's a role that's sort of quietly assigned to you by the people in your life who need a safe place to land.
So, why you? Why do you become that person for others to offload their stress onto? Well, it really just boils down to these three things. People feel safe with you. They know you're not going to judge them. You're non-reactive, meaning you won't pile your own drama on top of theirs. And you're just seen as incredibly reliable. You're the port in their storm.
So, let's move on and look at how this actually plays out in our day-to-day lives. How does this pull of stability create what really feels like a one-way street when it comes to emotional support?
Just take a moment and let this sink in. On one side, we see comfort from people who are just available and reliable. But on the other side, support often gets given to those who are the loudest about needing it, the ones who demand it or clearly expect it. The contrast is quiet, but it speaks volumes about the imbalance we're talking about.
And all of this leads us to this key concept, an emotional labor imbalance. This is all the unseen work that goes into a relationship, the act of listening, the managing of feelings, the constant empathy. And when that work isn't shared, it's no wonder the person doing all the heavy lifting feels a quiet sense of burnout.
I'm willing to bet some of this sounds familiar. Are you the first person they call when something goes wrong? Are you the one who remembers the important dates and the little details in their lives? Do you find yourself constantly clearing out your own headspace just to make room for their stress? These aren't just kind gestures. They're symptoms of an unspoken role you've been placed in.
Now, I want to be really clear. The goal here isn't to find fault or to label people in your life as bad or selfish. It's simply about recognition. It's about shining a gentle light on a pattern that might have been shaping your experiences for a very long time.
And so often, this isn't personal. It's driven by a mental shortcut, a kind of unconscious bias we can call caretaker bias. It's the assumption that because you seem so capable, so together, you must not need any support yourself. Ironically, your own strength can make your vulnerability completely invisible to the people around you.
And this is probably the most crucial distinction of all. Let that one sit for a second. Being relied on can be about utility, about the function you serve for someone else. But being cared for, that's about connection. That's about them seeing you, the whole person, and wanting to be there for you too.
And perhaps this is the clearest, simplest way to see it. It's not an accusation. It's just a quiet recognition, one that hopefully brings a little more clarity to your own experiences. Thank you so much for joining me.